Hello, my name's Andrew, and today we're doing a first impressions review of the XERO Shoes H-TRAIL Sandal. So just for a little bit of background, when I started out barefooting 7 years ago, I got this one. This is the Z-Trail by XERO Shoes. It's a little bit thinner sandal, but the durability on XERO Shoes is crazy. Like, look at this. This is really the only wear spot that I have after 7 years. They're still going. I still wear them a lot of the time. They're a great durable sandal, but yeah, people have been asking me to do something a little bit thicker. Because some people either want a little bit of padding or they're going on trails that are just rougher and they just need more protection than something like this, which is only, it's probably about a 5 millimeter or maybe even 4 millimeter sandal at this point. So yeah, I went for a hike and trail run in these this morning, and we're going to talk about that. But first, let's just go over the basic features. So up front, you've got a fairly wide toe box, but it does get a little bit more curved towards the front of the sandal, which is pretty typical of XERO's. On the top, you've got a layer of padding. So unlike the Z-Trail, which is just a piece of rubber, this actually has some foam. And I find for sandals like this that have a thicker sole, this is a 10 millimeter sole, I find that it's just nice to have just a tiny bit of padding so it doesn't feel so hard on the bottom of your feet. And yeah, in terms of the strap system, it's a Huarache sandal. And so your toes are gonna go through there. And I like this for trail running because it gives you a little bit more side to side security versus something like the Z-Trail, which is a cross strap. It's a little better for casual. Moving towards the back, you've got 3 different adjustment points. So this heel strap here is nice for moving your heel forward or backwards, depending on how long your foot is. And then here and on the other side, these are for the width that you can control, like if you have a little bit of wider foot. Or you have a more narrow foot like me and you want to make it a little bit more snug. I found the straps to be really comfortable on this, actually even more comfortable than the Z-Trail because the straps are a little bit wider. It's very soft material, very glossy, nothing was rubbing. And even this part, which sometimes the ports where it like links up with the cord here can kind of rub, but also again, like very soft. The cord here is soft between your toes as well. So if you're someone who hasn't really liked Huaraches before and you find that you get some rubbing in between your toes, this is pretty good. It's a stretchy cord and it's also a bit fatter, which is nice because the more surface area you have, the less likely it is to kind of cut into your foot, your toes. And then it's the same thing in the back. It's also pretty soft, very wide strap material. And yeah, in terms of the sole, it does have that foam padding, and one thing that I like about this compared to just a straight rubber is that it kind of felt like my foot was like sinking into it, so it gripped better. Like when I was going down hills, because my toes were like pressing into the foam, it kind of held on to them a little bit better, and you do have some texture there as well. So I was going through like creeks and some mud, and it just felt like they were a little bit more slip resistant than just the flat rubber of the Z-Trail or some other sandals that I've tried. Looking at the sole, like I said, it's 10 millimeters and it's still got some really good flexibility, which is pretty typical for sandals because even if they are a little bit a thicker barefoot sandal, you don't have the upper constricting it, so you can get away with a little bit of a thicker sole. It's got some decent flexibility this way as well, horizontally. And then, you know, you can twist them into a bowl multiple times. And in terms of the tread pattern, it's got a mix. So this is good for multiple types of terrain, definitely really challenging terrain. But in the front and in the back, you've got these more dense portions. So like if you're going down a hill or you're 4-foot running, you know, you're landing here, it just gives you a little bit more protection from like sharp rocks. And I was out doing some like kind of like bouldery type stuff. I don't know that you would on a trail run, you know, on boulders like this big that kind of like sharp and shifting, but definitely for hiking, it worked really well. And definitely more so than thinner barefoot sandals because they just didn't really have enough protection for that kind of rocky stuff. They're better for like gravel and medium-sized rocks. Looking at the middle of the tread, you've got these chevron lugs, which are a little bit deeper and great for like muddy conditions. But because they're triangle shaped, they also have a lot of flexibility and there's quite a bit of space in here so that when the sandal starts to bend, they really open up and give you a lot of traction going up and down hills. But another benefit of that is that they're really easy to clean. So like you could just put these in the sink and then just spray air for a few seconds and you can pretty much clean all the mud out without having to like get in there with a scraper brush or anything like that. The only place mud gets caught is like in the front here, but it's not really a big deal. In terms of ground feel, it is a thicker sandal, so you won't get quite as much, but you can feel medium and small size rocks pretty well. And despite the fact that they're not a road shoe, I thought they felt pretty decent walking on pavement, especially because of the slate padding. And I think that's important because XERO has a little bit of a harder feeling rubber. So when you've got a thicker shoe like this, I think it helps just to have just that tiny amount of padding. In terms of road running, I don't know. I think it's a little bit too thick. I would probably use something like the Z-Trail or the Genesis, which we'll talk about. But yeah, that's the XERO H-TRAIL. I'm looking forward to testing them some more, and I'll put out a full video with my normal fancy outdoor footage like I do. But if you have any questions about them, let me know in the meantime. And in terms of other alternatives, obviously, like I talked about, if you want a thinner sandal, the Z-Trail is a great option. It had a 5.5 millimeter tread when I first got them, and now I think it's up to like 6 millimeters. But like you see, they do wear down, and they feel even better the longer you wear them. So in terms of flexibility, it's a lot more flexible. I mean, you can just roll this into a ball, so it's great as like a backpacking, backup sandal if you have a pair of barefoot shoes or boots, and then you just want something lighter, to switch off to. It does have the cross straps, and these are nice for casual because it's not going in between your toes, so there's less to rub. I found them to be really comfortable. The straps are kind of light, they're soft feeling. The Velcro on the back I did find wore off after a while, but let's be honest, I was wearing them for like 7 years, so you can fix it with a rubber band. I thought the heel protection was a little bit unnecessary. I don't even know why the sandal has this. It tends to just strap or trap stones back there, so I don't know. I kind of have been tempted at times to like cut it off, but it's fine. It doesn't bother you that much. And then yeah, in terms of the tread, it's definitely a lighter tread. I mean, this one's really worn down because I've had it for ages, but it's not as thick as something like the H-Trail. So this is definitely a lighter feeling, more flexible shoe that's a little bit better suited to roads, or if you don't need protection from like larger rocks. So it's great on gravel and packed dirt and stuff like that. So yeah, also with the toe box shape, it is fairly wide, but then it does get a little bit more pointy towards the front, which is definitely something that I wish XERO would work on, because I think that they're great sandals and they make great shoes as well, and they could just attract more people, I think, if they just made them slightly wider. But in terms of a brand that is a little bit wider, if you have extra wide, more spacious feet, this is the Monk Sandals Ruevo Plus. Ruevo Plus, and this definitely has more of an extra wide toe box. It's a little bit more squared off here, which I like. I love the shape of this sandal. It's also got cross straps like the V-Trek, so it's a really great sandal for casual. And it's got a leather footbed, which is pretty good for temperature regulation. It absorbs a bit of moisture. It's not great if you get them super wet, because like as you can see, like this area starts to get pretty slippery where my foot is, so it's a little bit better for drier, although they do have I think they just have a regular rubber type upper that you can get as well. One feature that I love about this sandal is the buckle. I don't know why, but it's just so satisfying to have a sandal with a freaking buckle on it. I don't know. Next up, we've got the DLD Perception. That stands for Deliberate Life Design. So this is a company that makes custom sandals. So if you have a foot shape that's a little bit different than usual, this would be a great option, because you can just send in your foot tracings and then you get the perfect sandal for you. And they've got multiple different options in terms of straps and sole material and the top footbed. So I really like this footbed. It's got more of like a grippy feel to it. It's kind of similar in terms of shape to the Monk sandals, just a little bit more squared off. It's got a Huarache style strap on the front. And again, I find the straps to be really comfortable on this, like they are on the H-Trail. It just doesn't have as much security. There's only one place where you can adjust it, so it's a little bit more minimal, kind of like set it and forget it type of feel, which is great for durability. But this actually has the same sole as Monk Revo Plus. And it's a Vibram sole, and again, semi-aggressive. So it's slightly thicker. It's got a little bit more protection, so a little closer to the H-Trail at 10 millimeters. And it would just be a good kind of in-between option. So another good pick would be the Shama Warriors, and Shama also makes different sandal thicknesses, so it's pretty easy to choose if you do want something that's a little bit closer to the H-Trail. But yeah, Shama has probably the best strap system of anyone if you want security for like really fast trail running or races. because they've got these side posts that just give you a little bit more stability, because sometimes with a sandal you can slip around. Well, the one thing I don't like about the post is that it's a little bit hard, so I find it can rub on the ankle. And what I did was I just took an old glove, I cut off the finger, and then I slipped that on so that I have a little bit of padding here, and it works really well. In terms of the strap system, it's got 3 adjustment points, kind of like the H-Trail, so the back, then the top, and then the side for the width. It's very secure, and yeah, it's a great trail running sandal. And then also the same sole, 5 to 6 millimeter Vibram sole on the bottom, extremely flexible. I don't know why, but for some reason Shama sandals always curl like this. It doesn't really matter, but I don't know. I don't know why that happens. Finally, we've got the XERO Genesis, and this is the thinnest out of all of the sandals. I find this is really excellent for trail running, and it's also very minimal with the strap system. You just got a simple Hirachi strap here that runs all the way around, and you can kind of slide this forward or backwards, and then you've got adjustment here and here as well. And it actually feels pretty comfortable. It doesn't seem like it would be because it's so minimal, but yeah, I find the strap it's stretchy enough and it's soft enough that it doesn't really rub anywhere on my foot. The only thing I'd say about this one, it's not as secure as something like the Shama Warriors, but you do get some excellent flexibility. I think this sandal is my favorite for road running just because it's the thinnest out of anything that I've tried. In terms of the tread, it's semi-aggressive like the V-Trail, so it works for gravel as well and some light rocks, but probably not steep muddy hills or, you know, thicker rocks. All right, so those are some good barefoot sandal options for hiking and trail running, but if you want to support the channel, you can shop with the referral links down below, browse and filter more products at my website, barefootwear.org, or watch my zero drop transition video to learn more about barefooting. Finally, if you have a question about the XERO H-Trail or about barefoot sandals in general, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, catch you next time. Peace!